Hi, I'm Seth Michael May from Seth Michael May Studios. And if you're an actor, stop scrolling. There's a Van Morrison song that I really like, In the Garden. And he says, no teacher, no method, no guru, just you and I in the garden. I recently went to Terry Schreiber's memorial. He was my teacher, one of many. I was in class with one of his teachers and Peter Sarsgaard, and I was assistant stage manager on one of his productions with Ed Norton. We used to do Aikido moves on each other. Aikido was very popular at that time because of certain action stars, who was not a very good person. I'm not going to mention him. But I met Ed, and I was very moved by this memorial. And one of the reasons I studied with Terry is he didn't allow auditors. So you came in a big group, you sat in the theater on West 4th Street, and he talked about the school before you auditioned to see where you were placed, at what level. And he said two things. I was there with my friend Dan, who played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. And we still do, actually. And we were in our 20s a long time ago. And he said, first of all, no one is going to yell at you in my school. That went out in the 70s. And I had studied with Herbert Berghoff when I was 18 and he was 81. And my childhood, like a lot of actors, I talk about it in my class. You know, I love my mom and dad a lot, but it went through a lot of spots. And I was like, wow. So in my class, I just want to say, I don't yell at anybody. For some points in my life, I did, but I don't do that anymore. It's easy for a guy with some gray in his hair to make a younger girl cry as they see you produced emotion. That ain't acting teaching. And then the other thing Terry said is, I know some of you have more of an emotional life in your imagination. In your imagination, he said something like, in your fantasy world, than you do in real life. And me and my friend Dan looked at each other and said, this guy is talking to us. Dungeons and Dragons back then, and when we were growing up, you didn't admit you played it. Now there's there's a game in Hollywood that everyone tries to get into. Actors have admitted that they use the Dungeons and Dragons method to get into character. I'm Seth Michael May. Every acting teacher has taught me something. I try to be a mirror, not a mentor. No guru, no method, no teacher. If you're looking to be a working actor and have someone not take away anything that works from you, I'd like you to come to my class in person in New York or online. DM me. Thank you for listening. Have the kind of day you want to have. Stay safe. We've gotten to a very strange world. I like to stay in my fantasy one. Keep rolling those 20s.